Okay, I'm just waiting for you guys to come back on. Come on, guys. Anybody there? Doesn't show anybody yet. All right, Crusher, cool. I guess it takes a few minutes for you guys to get back on. I'm hoping I hope Tim comes back on. Yeah, now it's funny you were on, but it still showed zero up in my persons on. And I had up to four people. I was on with four people on that video. Hopefully they come back. all because I had a all because I had to touch the screen. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why it goes to black screen every time I go to zoom in or zoom out on the. Because with an iPhone, you got to touch the screen to zoom it in and zoom it out. All right, Pipe Master, welcome back, Jim. Glad you join again, and yeah, hopefully everybody comes back. It's taken a few minutes for everybody to find me again. I guess I don't know, but yeah, I don't understand why it goes to black screen when I zoom in or zoom out. Yeah, I won't touch the screen this time. You won't get black screen this time. I'll just have to stay zoomed out. But Jesus, man, getting all these damn notifications driving me crazy. But I gotta have them. Anyway, this is a flashback screen used mask. I have a bunch of still shots from this. Let me see what else I have here. Yeah, let me see. I can. Well, at least now you won't get that jittery look. Yeah, that's pretty direct. Oh, that's a still shot from the 4K. I kept. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't wait till this mask is done. I thought the sculpture is. I mean, I've been itching. I was supposed to actually mold this, Jim, um, April 1st. I was aiming for April 1st, but because I don't have a shop, I don't have a shop. I'm in my studio. This is where I do my sculpting right here in my recording studio. I've got my music stuff over here, but man, I got trash everywhere. It's not really trash. It's just everything here it can't be thrown away. It's all being used in some form and some way. Um, my latex paints are all up in here. I got the shelves loaded. I got some artificial hair that I might be using for upcoming masks. I got a ton of hair stuffed in my corner over here. I just had my drill out. I got to put that back in the toolbox. But yeah, it's crazy. Let me see, Crusher. Yeah, I did. I hurt my leg a little bit. And it's not a big deal. It was just I'm a little older. I'm way overweight. That's really the issue. That's what's causing a lot of my problems. And my problem is I've got every time I try a diet, I always hit a health brick wall. I hit a bad brick wall of some kind, stopping me from being able to do the diet. I'm gonna be flat out honest. You want to hear the truth? Here it is. Bottom line. You get older, your body kind of it just doesn't cooperate. I'm 60 years old now. almost June. At the end of June is my birthday, and I'll be 60. And I've been having like issues with digestive problems. Like if I eat salad, I swear to God, for at least 2 or 3 bowel movements, I have total diarrhea if I eat salad. And I mean, I gotta run to the toilet. It's so violent that if I don't get to that toilet in time, forget it. There ain't nothing holding it back. So now I can't eat salad unless I'm at, I can't be at work because I got to be home. I got to be right next to that bathroom to even uh, do salad food, do salads and stuff. I don't know why my system just rejects salad. A lot of green leafy stuff, and it's really good for you, right? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? So there. I mean, it just seems like every time I try to start a diet, something else goes wrong. When my body says, "Nah, sorry, we're not letting you lose the weight." No, you can't do it that way. So I've done every diet you can imagine, and nothing's worked. Nothing's worked, and every time I try to do salads, same problem happens. So I can't do salads alone. So and I've what I started doing was eating more vegetables, and that seems to work. Um, but I still got to be careful with what greens I put in it because otherwise I'm right there running to the bathroom again. So it sucks, man. It really sucks, you know. And the keto thing I can't really do because I got a heart condition. Rice I can't have. I'm diabetic. I'm diabetic. I got a heart condition. I have an arrhythmia condition. I'm on medication for. Um, yeah, you name it, man. I keep running into these brick walls. It's like if I get a cold, I just have to suffer. I get the flu, I just suffer because I can't take antihistamines. I can't take, there's so much shit that I can't do that the average person can do because of the conditions. Mediterranean diet. Okay, what is the Mediterranean diet? Now you got to remember green leafy vegetables and I think not cauliflower. Um, come on, now I can't think of it. Broccoli. I'm sorry, broccoli. If I eat broccoli or spinach, a lot of broccoli, a lot of like green leafy salad, it makes me run right to the toilet within 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes after eating it. And I mean, pure liquid comes out of me. And it sucks. It really sucks because I can't hold my fluid um, when it's like that. It just sucks. I got to be careful on the leafy stuff. And I'm losing people because people don't want to hear about this diet shit. But anyway, let's talk about the sculptures here. Um, anyway, yeah. So I hurt my leg mildly, and a lot of it's yeah. That's what I'm going to drink a lot more water and eat a lot less. Maybe 2 meals a day. That's going to be it. So and if I can get just 30 pounds off, I'm not trying to look like great again. I'm 60 years old. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to prove anything to anybody at this point in my life. I just want to feel better. I'm gonna have to look into that Mediterranean diet. That's for sure. I'm not looking like I said. I'm just looking to drop enough weight to where I'm not hurting all the time. I'm in a lot of pain. I have arthritis in my body, in my joints, and it's that I believe is hereditary from my mother's side. Uh, they all suffered from a lot of arthritis, and my dad's side, he had spinal problems, and sure enough, I've got 9 vertebrae fused in my back. So no fun here. But let's talk about what do you guys want to talk about? Is there any questions you have about the sculpture, about how I got to this point? Um, any specific questions? Like there's so many things, I'm kind of learning as I go too. You know, you got to remember, I think the one thing I did differently as I sculpted this compared to this is I studied some human anatomy. I literally started studying the muscle structures underneath of our skin, especially in the face. I was really honing in on the muscles and learning what causes the aging process because face it, that's what a scowl is. Yeah, yeah, a lot of trial and error. It sure is. But you know what? If you don't educate yourself about if like when you're going into sculpting, do yourself a favor and really study. Well, you know, I think I have what they call it's a wool hair. Um, that's what was on that mask that you saw, Jim. Jim, are you still with me? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, that was you, Jim. Okay. See, whenever I put the shoot, so I have to hit the. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, that's pretty much. Uh, I want to use the same hair as I was using before because the synthetic hair. I'm going to try this. This is synthetic hair right here, right here. And you see these strands that I curled up? Well, that was done with a hot iron. And I might use this like this color. And you see, this is a two-tone, but I'm going to stop it right there. I'm not going to use that black section of this hair. I'm going to use like the lighter and I'm going to mix them back and forth and try to blend those two colors together and use those curls, you know, and lay that on there and then kind of brush it out and give it a more natural wavy look, kind of like what's on the Kills mask. The actual screen used Kills mask, the one that's burnt up on the side, that looks like real human hair, and that's why I went for the synthetic because the synthetic actually looks more real than wool. The wool hair, let me show you. I'll show you a uh, close up of it. Well, I have some gray stuff here. Well, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to show you this stuff. Oh, hold on. Let me lean in and grab this bucket, a pail of hair. Here we go. Okay. Now, see, this is wool hair. That's what I use for the mask. It's made out of wool. I get it from the woolery. It was 18 bucks for quite a bit. This will do like two heads, one bag. This will do like two heads. Um, but this is a really fine hair. Let me read that again. Crusher. What version you think will like more of the mask, H2 or 78 flashback? What version you think you will like more? You know what? My Halloween 2 and the 78 flashback, my sculpture is going to be the base for all my versions of the flashback, the kills. Uh, there's not going to be any alteration done to the shape of the face or the eye cuts. The difference will be the aging effect. I'll have the lines, the little you see on this mask back here. All that aging is going to be put onto this mask or sculpture. Um, every little detail, every little crack, every little line, every little the lips. When I do the 2018, it's going to look like it's going to be this sculpture with those details in the sculpture. I'm not changing the sculpture at all. There won't be any changes to the sculpture. Now I'll have to repair the sculpture as I demold this tomorrow, but it'll be small details, small things that I have to fix. There won't be a ton of work that has to be done to the sculpture. So, um, and I'll move on to doing the uh, 2018. I'll do the age. I'll fix the sculpture, and then I will age it to look like the 2018 or H40, however you want to look at that. And I'll do that, and then I'll mold that, get that done. Then I'll do the 20 or the Halloween Kills from this mold. Same thing. I'll do the extra. Now I know that this I want to say left eye. Actually, it's your right. When you're pointing at it, it's on the right side, but it's actually the left eye. The left eye gets a little bit more deformed in the Halloween Kills mask when it melts. Um, I may or may not do that to it. I may just keep it that way and just add those cracks and melding. Uh, it'll look a little different. It'll look a little different. And then let me see. Then we have to see what the ends looks like. When ends is done, then I'll know what ends looks like, and then I'll sculpt my version of ends. And then guess what I'm doing, guys? At the very end of when I'm done, yeah, I want to see the result too, Crusher. I'm really looking forward to it. When I'm at the very end of this, I'm going to make this into a my own rendition of what I think Halloween Ends should have been. How's that for a brainstorm? I think I'm going to do some interesting things to the mask without losing the character of the mask. Does that make sense? Um, I don't want to lose the character of the mask. That's where Rob Zombie went totally wrong. When you tear away too much of the mask, you're tearing away Michael Myers, because Michael Myers is the mask. I think I mean, even in the storyline of Michael, with the Halloween franchise and Michael Myers. Yeah, I hated that. I hated Rob Zombie's movies. I did. I don't like his stuff anyway. I don't like the idea of explaining the whole psychological bullshit in the beginning of the movie, trying to show you where or why Michael was the way he was. I don't. It's just too much. Um, Too much information sometimes. It's no good for anybody. But I think with Michael Myers, the reason why the mask was so, I don't know. Even when he picked up when he killed his first, yeah, exactly. Think back in the original '78 movie. All right, the first kill, little Michael Myers does. He was in a clown outfit and he wore a clown mask. So, and then when he finally escaped, the first thing he went to was a store to go get another mask. He just happened to grab that it was supposedly a white mask that was being sold in the store like that. It wasn't a Captain Kirk mask being converted. But anyway, he went and grabbed that mask. Now, there's some significance to the meaning there's something to do with that mask. Maybe they bring that out in Halloween Ends. Uh, it has something to do with I heard an interesting theory. What do you think of this? Where do you hear this one? Um, you know Halloween 3, right? Where the masks actually were killing kids. Well, I think they might even try to bring a tie in to that. That Halloween 3, the mask has something to do with Michael Myers being so powerful. Well, Halloween 3, I actually think, Crusher, they're going to tie that in somehow, I think. It's going to be a surprise ending, they keep saying, and all this stuff. But something to do with that mask is what makes Michael as powerful as he is. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting theory, and I didn't hear that. That's not my own idea. I actually watched a video on these guys. I sometimes I catch some random guys that come on and they talk about Michael Myers and they talk about Halloween ends and kills and it was an interesting theory that they're actually going to tie in somehow the Halloween 3 idea of the masks doing something to people, turning them into zombies. In Michael's situation, maybe different types of masks. Maybe it was a prototype. I don't know. I thought the concept was an interesting theory where they're going to tie in the mask, where the mask actually does something. It should be awesome. I'm not saying this is happening, Jim. I'm saying, Pipe Master, I'm not saying that this is actually happening. I'm saying that I heard this as a theory, as an idea that might be introduced in Halloween Ends, where the mask has something to do with why Michael is so powerful and doesn't die as he's being shot. I mean, God, he's been shot a lot in Halloween Kills. Stabbed, shot, stabbed with a pitchfork. I mean, I'm sorry, if you were a human, you'd be dead. So there's something going on there. And maybe that's what they're going to do, tie in the mask theory with that whole thing. But yeah, it's an idea, it's a concept. I'm looking forward to see what happens in the end. And I'm dying of thirst. I'm talking. My horse. I'm still hoarse. I still was just getting over I don't know what it was, a bad cold, but it turned into a cough and everything a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, look how much different this original sculpt is compared to this now. Man, there's a night and day difference, and I can point them out to you. See, I have the bottom cuts of the eyes are definitely cut right. They're right. They're sculpted correctly now. The scowl is corrected, and sculpted correctly. Uh, See how like literally looks flat, like right in this area, like the eye socket is not sunk in far enough. There's so much wrong with the sculpture, and it was just over time and trial and error to discover the right way to sculpt this face. And I think I've nailed it now. I think I actually have it down to where I want it. But yeah, I'm looking at this. Let me see, right there, the lips and the chin area, and I'm just looking at this, and I'm trying to show you. I'll get close to it. See how close that is, the way it looks. What mask? The Halloween 3 masks? I don't. I really don't have any interest in that. I'm sorry. Was that Jim? Pipe Master that has said that. See, the damn thing drops off so quick. I can't tell who. I uh I really don't want to do those masks. Um, I just feel like I have to stick with what I'm doing, what I do best. And I also, once I get away from the Michael Myers thing, once I finish these, that's it. I'm done with Michael Myers. I'm moving on to. I've actually ordered another armature for putting more clay on, and I'll be totting back and forth from one sculpture to another. Because once I'm done with Michael Myers, when I do all five masks, yeah, I got another Ed head 2.0 coming, and I want to throw some clay on that, just like I did here. And I'm going to do scarecrows and zombies and other stuff. I want to get into more detail. Not to say that this is believe me, I think it's actually harder to make a human face and try to replicate somebody's face than it is to just make a face and then make a zombie out of it. Because there's no, I'm not being told that the nose has to look just like this or the cheek has to be lined up just perfectly, and the eye cut has to be perfect, and the little dimple in the corner of the mouth has to be there, a little round bubble or something, whatever you want to call it. All those little details. Phew, I don't have to worry about that anymore because I'm going to make an original monster. It doesn't have to be. Maybe I'll do. I also have. I'm a big fan of werewolves. I love werewolf monsters. I really don't want to do Michael Myers and that's it for the rest of my life. No matter how much time I have, I want to do some original stuff too. I don't want to do just Michael Myers. You know, I want to. This is I think is best. I mean, I'm sure I could be a little bit better if I did like 10 more of these things. I would really hone in on it perfectly. But I think I'm pretty close to where I want to be, and I'm comfortable with this. And I made it the way I see Michael Myers. Uh, I don't see him as um, he's got attitude. That mask has attitude. This sculpture has attitude, and that's what I love about this sculpture. Um, where this one here, the more I look at that, the more I go, oh my God, I was so far away from where I needed to be. And I guess with every sculpture, I would be the same way. I would, maybe my future sculpture would make this look sad. I don't know. I just don't want to spend the rest of my life doing these. Yeah, I think it's close. It's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Um, it's a, it's Custom Corpse's rendition of Michael Myers. All right. And it's a copy of multiple masks. It's a copy from the original mask. It's a copy from a version of the Halloween 2 mask, 1981, the original Halloween 2. The face is just a little wider, so I can get both looks. I can paint this and make it look like the Halloween 2, 1981. I could paint this and make it look like the you know um, flashback mask, or I can go with just the 78. I'm going to get three masks out of that sculpture right there without changing it. And then what I'm going to do, and that's just with paint. That's just with the paint jobs. The original Halloween 2 had more of a yellowish look to it, not so much white. It actually looked a little like this. Let me see. This actually looks a little yellow. See how that mask looks a little yellowish? That might be just the lighting where he's sitting, where he's outside, but I don't know. That has a little bit of a yellowish to it. Yeah, it was stretched out, widthwise. You'll have that look in this. Not quite. You could probably put a little bit of foam on the inside of the mask up against your head, the stretch to give the mask a little bit more of a stretch. Yeah, Pipe Master, if you're still there, I'm not a real big fan of doing the Halloween 3. I'll tell you a reason. I'll tell you what the real reason is. Uh, I didn't like the movie. There, I've said it. I didn't like Halloween 3, and let me tell you why. It was misleading the way they sold that movie. And I was young enough, I went to that movie thinking that we were going to see Michael Myers. They sold it as though Michael Myers was still in the movie. And when you went to that theater and you sat down and you started watching that movie, yeah, it was clickbait, all right, Crusher. You started watching that movie, and all of a sudden you see Michael Myers, the movie, on the TV that was in the hospital in that scene, and you're going, what the, what the, it really pissed off a lot of people. Some people, even including almost myself. I didn't do it. I didn't get up and walk out, but I should have. But a lot of people got up and walked out of the movie. No, silicone costs a lot of money. Silicone is not something I want to dabble in. If I was younger, I would. But I don't want to start something like that and try to. Uh, I think latex is where it's at for me. Um, it's to me the art never changes. Even when you're making silicone masks versus latex masks, you're still sculpting and molding the same way. You're really well, the molding's a little different, but um, there's a lot of work in the mold work when you're doing silicone masks because you got to have an inside sculpt and an outside sculpt, and they all have to fit together. It's painstaking process to make silicone masks. And then you have to have that mesh, the head mesh that goes inside the silicone to keep it strong. So this way, when it stretches, it doesn't tear. It's a mesh. It's like a thin. Um, it's either lycra or lycra is the same thing as the dance skin stuff. It's a four-way stretch material, and they put that in the silicone. They embed that in the silicone. I've seen the whole process on how they make the silicone masks. It's a lot of work, man, and that's why they cost $900. You buy a silicone mask, they're not cheap. They're expensive, man. And how many people are going to buy a mask for me for $900? Really? There's not going to be a lot of people on the market for that, and I don't see I don't see it's necessary. If I want to make something that's really, um, you know, that you want the jaw to move and you want to do all those things, like if I'm doing werewolves and stuff like that, like I like to stick to creatures that actually, or not just creatures, but like I'm not into Frankenstein, so I wouldn't do those. Um, uh, the werewolf I would do, but I like the older versions of the werewolves, like Cursed. I thought she was that girl was a great werewolf. I can't remember her name. She was in Halloween Kills and two Halloween 2018. She was the daughter of I can't remember the actress's name. Man, I'm getting tired. Um, anyway, she was a werewolf and cursed with Christina Ricci. Ricky, is that her name? Ricky, or I don't know. Anyway, that's a great movie. You want to check that out. Cursed. I want to do werewolf movies. I definitely like Scarecrows, and Scarecrows, they're going to be done so much differently than molding. I'm not going to do any molding with that. I'm going to do an armature like this, and I'm going to pack out the head, and then I'm going to put the latex and fabric on the actual armature and create on the fly those masks. That's why I actually can't wait to get to that point. I'm probably not going to get there until next summer, where I'm doing different masks, completely different masks. I'll be done the Michael Myers thing completely, I think. Um, and it all comes to a head right at the perfect timing. And that's where Halloween Ends is, because my plan is to do the Halloween Ends and my rendition of what Halloween Ends should have looked like. What did you say there? Yes, the Scarecrow mask. Now it won't. A Scarecrow mask doesn't necessarily have to be on the. You actually want it to be on the outside. And with Scarecrow masks, sometimes I'll use like straw hanging down from the neck area. So um, I always say the best Scarecrow scares we ever did in haunts. I used to do haunts. Um, all right, cool, Jim. I got your message. Uh, I'll have to have you come over. You'll see where I'm at that point with probably going into the next sculpture. No, I'm right offshore. I'm literally, I'll say 4 miles from North Wildwood. I'm right on Indian Trail Road, which is North Wildwood Boulevard. When you're going into North Wildwood Boulevard, if you're coming offshore from North Wildwood on North Wildwood Boulevard, where exit 6 is on the Parkway, instead of going back on the Parkway, you come straight up to Route 9. You go across Route 9, and that's Indian Trail. And I'm about 2 miles from Route 9 on Indian Trail. So, yeah, I'm not very far from North Wildwood at all. It takes me 15 minutes to get to work to North Wildwood, maybe 10 minutes. 10-minute drive from my house to the front door of my job. But, yeah, this is where I'm at, guys. This is the finished product. This is the finished sculpture. I'm getting very tired. I gotta call it a night, guys. But I wanted to give you a heads up. And tell you where I'm at with the sculpture and the little changes that I made with the lips and the chin, which I had to do because it looked too flat. It looked too flat, just didn't look quite right, and the lips weren't quite right either. As much as you thought they were, it's not so much when you looked at it straight on as when you turned it from the side, it didn't look right. When you were looking from a side angle on either side, the lips didn't look right, and now they look good. They now better. I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you texted there. They look better, you think, now, the lips? And they're pretty close to what this mask is here. They're pretty close. A little bit more narrower in this area right here. Right in the I don't know what the hell I call that. But mine are a little bit more narrow. But then if you look at, all right, you look at this, see how wide they are, right? From peak to peak, the top of the lips, the peak of the lip, right up top here, you see how far apart they are? And you see how mine are? They're a little bit closer, all right? Now, if you take the 2018 mask, right, they're super narrow. They're really narrow. And the weird thing is, this side is lower than this side on the 2018, where that's actually supposed to be opposite. Wait a minute, I might be wrong. No, I'm right. No, I'm sorry. They have it correct. But this is very narrow in here. That's a very narrow look there. So, yeah, a lot's been changed on the sculpture. I have it where I want it to be. I put the hairline and that's very, very subtle. That's barely in the mask for sculpture. Turn this thing right. I can't wait to mold this thing tomorrow. And see how much rounder that chin is? All right, so I'll see you later. Yeah, I'll see how much rounder that chin this is. Here, this chin. I have to take a little more. Let me see. Yeah, this bulging out just a little bit too much right in here. I didn't do an overhead shot with this. Then again, that's how this is. Maybe I'll leave it that way. There you go. Just a little bit of imperfection. Can't see it dead on. Why is my foot hurting? I feel like I got a piece of glass in my foot. Anyway, I am going to call it a night, guys. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to give you a heads up to what I'm doing, how I did it, and why I did it. But I'm going to jump off of here now, guys. You guys have a wonderful night. Get a good night's sleep. I'm going to need my night's sleep tonight because I got to mold this thing tomorrow, and that's going to be a 4 or 5 hour process. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace. Good night.